SwoleBenji here. Today I have another Corrupted Dungeon speed clearing build. This one's actually really cheap, really effective for all of you curse staff users out there. This one is about the Lifecurse staff, alright? So for the food we have, of course, the cabbage soup because we want to regenerate between pulls. So the way this works is you want to use the second Q ability on your Lifecurse staff, alright? Because it lets you hit multiple targets, and if you have a Carleon cape, you can cast this twice in a row and put 4 stacks on every enemy all at once, really quickly, every 38 seconds. It's super good. For the helmet, you'll be using the Mage Cowl for 2 reasons, alright? The Mage Cowl lets you poison bosses and regular enemies so you can clear faster, and if you're invaded, you can switch it to Force Field and knock people away from you, which is extremely powerful, especially if they're melee. Now, for those who don't know, the Lifecurse staff, you can hold Alt and press E and cast it on yourself, and this will cast spinning blades that spin around you. It does more damage than the Great Axe, and it nerfs the enemies or the opponent's damage so that they do less damage to you. Alright? Now, I'm using a Mage Robe here just because I want more damage and because I have this nifty little Reflect Shield for PvE. You can use a Cleric Robe if you want to actually fight players, but I just tend to rat, so the way I play is that I use the first W ability on the Lifecurse staff so that I can shred armor and deal damage in a line, but if I'm invaded, I will switch to Desecrate so I can root my opponent and escape. For the boots, I'm using a Scholar Sandals for 2 reasons. The run ability, as you can see right now, it regenerates your mana, it's fast, it's got a low cooldown, and it prevents you from being slowed, stunned, or rooted, which is extremely powerful for ratting, okay? It's extremely useful so that you never run out of mana. And that's why I do it. So just 1 E cast and 1 Q cast is all you need to clear an entire pack of mobs in a Hunter or Stalker dungeon. I don't recommend this build for Slayer. The reason why is I have not unlocked Slayer, so I can't really tell you what the best Slayer build is, but stay tuned to the channel. Maybe I'll figure it out one day, right? Alright, so if you actually want to fight a player, I would suggest using the first Q ability because it's more reliable and you don't have to aim it. Though if someone is just blindly following you and they have high ping, they'll run into your second Q ability quite easily. Now for the offhand, I'm using a Mist Caller. If you compare in Hunter and Stalker, the Mist Caller, it is a way higher DPS compared to the Crypt Candle or the Moizak because of how IP scaling works, okay? So use a Mist Caller. You don't have to use a Mist Caller if you don't want to. You can also just use a regular torch, alright? Because Curse Staff auto attacks deal an AoE explosion after so many times on the first passive, which is what I'm using, I believe. And that is it just increases your clear speed time, and the cooldowns, it's not as bad. The torch still gives you cooldown reduction. It's all good. All right. You combine all of this and you will be clearing in under 5 minutes, which is really good for Corrupted Dungeons. It is extremely easy to play. It's super safe. You just run up to this pack of mobs, cast your E, and now they do no damage. Look at my health bar. They're like barely hurting me, okay? Barely hurting at all. And as soon as they die, your cabbage soup heals you right back up. Look at that. Like, the boss is already being summoned at 3 minutes, okay? If you have good pathing, you could do this even faster. And yeah, boss monsters die really easily because you're doing damage as you're moving. You just apply 4 stacks, and every once in a while you cast another Q spell. When the Q spell hits the enemy, it deals damage, and it refreshes the dot duration, alright? So, if you're against another player, you want to actually switch your armor to Purge or Cleric Robe if you're using Cleric Robe. I use Mage Robe because it gives you slightly faster clear speed time, and damage is everything. And like I said, for the helmet, you switch to Force Field to knock your opponents away. You cast W to root them, and then you just run up. You just run away. It's really simple. If they close the distance after that, you cast your E. They'll do no damage to you. They'll be on 4 stacks of Curse. So even if they kill you, you might still get the last laugh because even though you died, so did they, and they don't get your loot. And that's the coolest thing about Curse Staffs. Anyway, that's basically the build video. Just apply 4 stacks on these bosses, hit them with the armor shredding laser, cast your W when it's off cooldown. You can take some hits. I mean, yeah, you're in cloth, but you're still kind of tanky, right? Because you can attack while moving. Just cast your spells as soon as they drop off cooldown. Make sure you use your poison helmet. Look how fast this boss died. Anyway, I'm SwoleBenji. Thanks for watching. As always, be a bro and stay swole. Make sure you leave a comment and like the video at the same time. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you in the next one. You can always unsubscribe later if you don't like the video. Anyway, take care, lads.